Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Before I start, can I just apologise for the lateness of the upload. Been having some software issues. I normally try and like to get a video out either on Saturday or early Sunday, and it's now late on Sunday. So yeah, apologies. Fingers crossed it's all working okay now. The other thing I'd like to quickly say is thank you to all my new subscribers. 55 may not sound a lot to you, but I'm over halfway to 100, which was my sort of short-term goal, and I'm really pleased. So thank you very much. Anyway, this week I'd like to look at the fastest film that I've ever tried. So let's take a look. In order to explain what I mean by fast film, perhaps it's wise if we have a look at what's commonly referred to as the exposure triangle. Three sides to a triangle, obviously. On the one side, we have got shutter speed, then we have our aperture setting, and lastly, we have our film's ISO or ASA, which is its speed, how fast it reacts to light. Now, light obviously is our fundamental driving force in photography. It governs everything we do. And the three sides of this triangle are very much dependent on each other. If you adjust one side, it's going to have a bearing on the other sides. And most importantly, will affect how much light you can get into the camera. Faster the shutter speed, less light. Larger the aperture, more light. I'll look at those in future videos. But if we look at ISO for now, the faster the film, the higher the number, the less light we require to actually get our image. So what you tend to do is choose your film based on the sort of conditions you expect to be shooting in. If you're going to do a lot of night photography, you might want to get a slightly higher ISO film. You don't have to, because you might compensate with larger apertures and fast and slower shutter speeds. But most films come sort of 100 ISO, 200, 400, 800, etc. So let me try and illustrate what effect ISO has on our photographs. Here we have Boba Fett fulfilling his ambition to become a model, and I have used my digital camera and taken two photographs of his face. So in this first photograph, I have used a relatively low ISO of 100, aperture fairly wide open f3.5, but because it's a low light shot and I'm not using a flash, I've had to have the shutter open for 2 seconds. But, you know, it's a reasonable photograph. Now in the second photograph, I have upped the ISO to 6400, left the aperture the same, but now I'm able to reduce the shutter speed right down to 1/30th of a second, and I'm getting pretty much the same amount of light getting in the camera. However, you'll notice there's a lot of digital noise, sort of a speckled effect to the photograph. Obviously, this doesn't happen on film, but what you often get is what photographers call grain, which isn't necessarily undesirable. It can have quite a nice effect. But obviously, the higher the ISO of the film that you tend to use, the more grain you can probably expect to see in your final images. So this is my weapon of choice. This is Ilford Delta, and as you can see, it is 3200 ASA. So very fast film, much faster than anything I've ever used before. It's a black and white film, and as I've already described, it's usually accompanied with quite a prominent grain upon development. But hopefully, I think that'll suit the type of photographs that I'm looking to actually get from this. So let's load up the camera. I've got my Yashica TL Electro, which I featured in a previous video, which I shall put a link to up there somewhere. So yeah, I'll probably end up changing the lens on it as well. I'll probably, this is a 2.8 lens. I've got a 1.8, which I think wider aperture may end up being helpful in this instance. But yeah, let's get it loaded up. Okay, so open the back. Need to just make sure that's Not easy to load this whilst also making sure that you can see what I'm doing, but we'll get there. Looks good. Just fire that off. Perfect. I'll just close that over, and we shall cool. On the first frame, ready to go. Looking forward to this, but hopefully the results will be worthwhile. There's nothing like a photographic montage. Here are some of the results. I hope you enjoy them. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go out there and experiment. It's always worth trying different films and seeing what sort of results you get. For me, that's part of the fun. Other than that, please like the video, comment, feel free to give me your opinions, and hopefully if you're a first-time user, you'll think about subscribing. Other than that, see you next time. Thank you.